welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Indiana Fever fans are reeling from the news that Arie McDonald and Sydney Colson both are out for the rest of the season because of injury during the same game against the Phoenix Mercury, a game that I talked about in a couple videos already. And what a shame it was that Phoenix engaged in abusive behavior, that the officials did nothing about it. Bad enough that the Fever got demolished. But to me, that's a side note to the rest of what happened and what was allowed in the game. Black eyes, injuries, hit in the head, horrible screens that were not called as moving screens, though they were just something that did not resemble what we know to be basketball. Sophie Cunningham, however, was a bright spot. I mean, she came, she brought her game. She let the nonsense on the court fuel her. It got really chippy at one point, but seeing that she had a black eye, some say even a busted lip, we can see why she got a little chippy. But she played well. She was like the only Fever player who played well. I mean, I know Kelsey Mitchell had 12 points, so she was the second player in double digits. However, I think she ended up in double digits after the game, when the game was just about over. But it was just a tough night for everybody. And I watched my videos to hear my take on all of that. But Sophie Cunningham did go to the post-game press conference, and you could tell right away she was not happy. Yeah, she gave a little smile here, and she was cordial. She wasn't happy, and for good reason. But something happened during the interview that changed the atmosphere and even changed the cordial little smile that was more like, get me out of here, I'm so done, to something really sincere and heartfelt. There was something that I feel melted her heart even in that moment. And so I just wanted to share this because in the midst of all the chaos and the disappointment and everything with the Fever from Fever fans and the rejoicing, I'm sure, from non-Fever fans, I think this is something to highlight. And hopefully it just encourages you a little bit. So we're going to go to the Indiana Fever's YouTube account, to that post-game conference with Sophie Cunningham.
What does it mean to come back here and be able to play or just as an opponent?
Yeah, AZ was good to me, but I'm way happier where I'm at now. It was good to see people. It was fun to play in front of some fans. But for me, I'm way happier in Indiana.
So right there, I mean, you can just tell she's not happy, and she's not happy with Phoenix either. And so she's going to acknowledge, okay, my time in Arizona, my time with Phoenix, the Mercury, fine, but I'm so over you right now. So yeah, that was a dig. I'm happier in Indiana. I've turned the page, especially after that game.
Left the game in that second quarter with that left ankle, I think it was. Just how are you feeling with that? Obviously, you came back and seemed to be fine.
Yeah, I'm good. I think we faced some adversity with some injuries this game, but you know what? We're used to that. We've had that at the beginning of the year. This is just another hump that we're going to get over, and we're gonna be okay.
Obviously, Sydney went down with that injury in the first quarter.
I mean, you can just read her body language. There's a little smile there, but the body language is what you would expect after what happened in that game.
What was that like? Just seeing that. How did that affect the rest of the game?
For sure. I mean, it sucks, right? You don't ever want to see anyone be injured on any team. I feel like there's been a lot of injuries this year in the W, harsh ones, I think. And
there have been a lot of injuries, harsh ones. I'm not laughing at the injuries. I'm laughing at the calling out, because as many others have done, they're calling out the fact that there have been so many injuries in this league this year, more than ever, because according to some of the people in this league, The officiating is not getting better. The officiating is getting worse. People are getting injured, harsh injuries like they had experienced even that same night.
It's just another one. And Sid is still the heartbeat of our team. She's going to be okay. Our team's going to be okay. And again, it's just another hurdle that we're going to have to get over.
So here you're going to actually see Sophie Cunningham's countenance change when she realizes who's asking the question. Now, it's difficult to hear. I really wish that they would make sure we could hear these reporters. But here's a child reporter, if you will. And Sophie, when realizing that this is a child asking a question, her whole countenance shifts and she even leans in to the question. There's the smile.
Did you ever think about quitting when you were younger, and if so, what made you keep going?
So what she's asking is if she ever thought about quitting, ever thought about giving up, throwing in the towel. How do you keep on moving? She probably wanted to say to the young girl, yeah, like tonight, okay? Because Adrienne is saying we should have left and not even graced them with our continued presence. But this child just asked this innocent question. And in that moment, I just really believe you kind of remember why you do what you do. Yes, you love the game, but they talk a lot about these young people and what it means to them when they show up and when they get to see them play and when they get to sign autographs and all those things. And it's just such a sweet question in the midst of all the chaos and the physicality and all this stuff. You get this child who just says, do you ever just want to give up? What a perfect night for her to hear that question. It puts everything in perspective. But again, I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Just look at her face when she sees this child asking such an innocent question.
I'm filming with our future topics. Did you ever think about quitting when you were younger, and if so, what made you keep going?
Great question. Yeah, I think when you're growing up, sometimes it's really hard, right? Sometimes you doubt yourself. Sometimes you lack confidence. But there's always a fire in you. And I think the biggest thing that everyone's always going to fail. And I think if you're not trying or if you're not failing, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. And so for me, I think when you put in the work and you're the hardest worker, sometimes it's ugly, right? But you just have to kind of stack the days. And I just think if you keep showing up and you keep working hard, good things are going to happen.
To be more specific, that young girl was asking her about if she ever felt like quitting when she was younger. And she's like, great question. So here's this moment. Who knows what this girl is going through? Who knows if she's talking about, I'm an athlete and sometimes I just feel like throwing the towel, or who knows if she's trying to find encouragement for whatever it is she's going through. But that's what brings it again back into perspective. And even the same for us in the midst of being like, what a season. And in the midst of all the toxicity online and oh my goodness, is it ever? Whew. Anyway, in the midst of all that, you ever feel like quitting? The child asks, and then you go, you just have to remember what you put into it. You got to remember what matters. You stack the days and you keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I just thought that was encouraging for us, whether we're talking about sports, whether you're talking about your marriage, whether you're talking about your work, whether you're talking about, it doesn't matter, fill in the blank, whatever you're talking about, out of the mouths of babes, countenance changes, everything comes into perspective. And it really is a situation of hope. Just wanted to leave you with that encouragement. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.